Knocking out my August 7th video, and I'm recording this on August 8th, which, you know, when I thought about it earlier, brought me a great deal of sadness, and probably the first time I have felt kind of sadness in maybe like a month. Definitely since like July 16th. And I felt like I just completely lost the day. I mean, outside of my, you know, basic requirements for the day of, only eating for 7 hours of the day and working out, I really accomplished nothing today. And I was definitely at a point where, just getting out of bed and working out was, kind of enough. But man, like the fact that I really did nothing today. I just watched YouTube videos. I really I felt it. I felt like, wow, I lost the day. And it's like I had a feeling in my stomach, like, man, what I did today was not okay. Like the feeling I felt was as if I were to eat a whole bunch of junk food right now, knowing that I'm only supposed to eat between 12 and 6, but at 1:20 in the morning, I decide I'm gonna eat a bunch of Pop-Tarts. It's like I know that's not the right thing to do, and it puts like that type of action will put a psychological hold on you, and it'll just make you feel just bad, which is kind of how I feel right now and how I've been feeling for a little bit. But you know, it's kind of, I have to chalk that one up to, that was an L day. Today's already a new day, and today I have the opportunity to not make up for the day I lost, but to put together a good day where I'm, eating properly, working out properly, and actually, doing specific actions that move me toward my goals. Man, it's just interesting how my mindset has changed over the last 3 years, and the things that I thought were goals and things I wanted to accomplish have changed. Now I'm honestly to a point where it's just like my goal is to just move out my mom's house and kind of just build from there. That's crazy because, again, if you ask me, my goals 2017, 2020, and then now it's 2023. My goals have completely changed, and I went from big goals to bigger goals, and now it's just kind of changing my situation. That's kind of my main goal, is just move out of my mom's house. But and I think the thing that upset me is that stop it, damn it, I just had to go let out my mom's dog. But like I was saying, I think the thing that upset me the most is I'll wake up with a plan and kind of what I want to do, and I'm just not following through. Like, I knew today what I wanted to eat, when I wanted to work out. But I guess something that's kind of my fault is I didn't specify specific times where I would be consuming content, and then specific times where I'd be creating content. Also too, I was kind of wanting to record these videos during the day and post them the actual day I'm supposed to post them, and I had the idea of what I wanted to speak on, and I just ended up getting consumed in watching YouTube videos. So, you know, that definitely, it's not gonna continue to happen. That's all I can, really say on that. And honestly, I'm kind of past, you know, yesterday, and I'm moving on today. So I guess I'll talk about what I was gonna talk about, which is kind of finishing, which is interesting. That's what I wanted to talk about. I ran like half a mile today, and as I was running it, I was just thinking, when most people run, if you're running, a 40-yard dash or a 100-meter sprint or something like that, if you get an average, well, most average people probably would pass the fuck out if they tried to run, 100 meters, because most people are fat, but and not really in that good a shape. But if you get like someone who's even an athlete and you have them run 100 meters, they're gonna slow down usually like before they get to the finish line. They're not gonna run through the finish line. And I think that's a psychological thing where I think when most people kind of see a finish in sight, they kind of let off the gas a little. Whereas I think if anybody that's listening or anybody that ever hears this really thinks about this, if you finish like sprint wise, and this is could be a metaphor for anything, but if you move that finish line to 3 yards behind where it actually is, and you run full speed through the finish, you'll separate yourself from so many people, because the average person is seeing the finish line and they're letting off the gas instead of running straight through it. So, I mean, if you can't, have that mindset of, okay, I'm just going to run straight through the finish line, which is a hard mindset to have. But if you change that mindset to, okay, well, I'll just move the finish line in my head to 3 yards behind, so then you're actually finishing hard, I know that will kind of change, or that will, separate you from most people that do any type of physical activity or do anything. Another thing I was just thinking of was kind of the drug of, YouTube and social media. It's crazy. I'm a person who didn't really do social media because I'm like, I don't want to be addicted and all that. But, I mean, just like how I could be addicted to smoking weed or drinking, man, I have a real addiction to just consuming content and like watching YouTube videos. Like it's ridiculous, honestly. And that's kind of something I have to kind of grow out of. And I definitely think it goes my mom's dog again. I definitely think that's an addiction that's not easy to overcome. I think a YouTube or a social media addiction will be harder to kind of deal with than, some of these drugs and nicotine. And it'd be interesting to see studies on stuff like that. Like, especially if you are, the type of person that's on, Instagram every single day, like, what type of withdrawal symptoms would you have if you just instantly, like, had Instagram taken away, and kind of how long would it take you to get through kind of that withdrawal stage, and that compared to, if you smoke every day, and then that, how long would it take you to get through that withdrawal stage? I think, those two things would have very similar effects on your brain and kind of would look the same. But yeah, I know today is just, my August 7th vibe is not, where it needs to be. But I know tomorrow I'm gonna have a lot more energy, and I'm gonna kind of ramp it up a little because I know I can't be, I can't stay where I'm living right now. Um, and I just know, like, my, you can't ask God for, a blessing, or you're listening to affirmations or whatever, and you're not putting in the work. And I think that's why I just feel so bad. It's like I'm trying to, you know, change my body mentally and physically, but then I'm not all the way putting in the work I need to be putting in. And it's like my soul, my brain, my heart, it's just everything understands that I'm cheating myself. And that's what's kind of putting a sadness in me. But I know I'm finna go to bed, and then I'm gonna wake up with a high level of energy and kind of attack the day the way it needs to be attacked. So I'm gonna go knock it out.